This movie was so good that it made me cry, but I cannot forget this song. You will be fine. What is going on, guys? It's your boy Daily Reacts TV here, and I'm very, very excited to review this film. And I want to let you guys know I just got finished doing my last Airbender rant. Yep. So this is going to be premiering on Tuesday night or afternoon, one of those times. And today I'm here to finally review the film that I've been hyping up to review, and actually been hyping myself up to go see. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. And that's Dear Evan Hansen, a musical that I was not expecting to like. Now, Dear Evan Hansen follows Evan Hansen, who likes to write letters to himself because his teacher told him to, because he has some troubles. Doing so, he goes to school on his senior year, will also run into a kid named Connor Murphy. Connor Murphy, of course, signs his cast and says, you know what, now that we're both friends, I'll help you with something. So he gives him his letter that he wrote to himself, that Evan wrote to himself. And basically, Connor goes, and runs off, and Evan's trying everything to get his letter back. Noticing that Evan was called to the principal's office the next day and finally realized that Connor took his own life. So Evan, of course, tries to tell him that he didn't write the letter, but then the mom saw the name on the cast, and he comes up with all this lies saying that he was friends with Connor, and then he basically has to try to convince people that he was actually friends with Connor, even though he wasn't, and that's the movie. Now, many of you guys just don't know, I'm not a big fan of musicals. I mean, yeah, I love Shrek the Musical, I love The Greatest Showman, but Dear Evan Hansen caught my attention. We were still moving at the time, and It's Totally Cody, right here, reacted to the trailer. And I was like, what the heck is Dear Evan Hansen? And he told us it was originally, and I didn't even know this at the time, that it was originally a actual musical on stage. Now knowing that, I didn't actually know that. I actually thought that was interesting. So I saw his reaction, and the trailers looked so good that I actually was dying to see it. So basically, it dropped to my theater, and I took my grandma to go see it on Saturday, and what do I think of the film? I like it. I mean, yeah, it's dark, but it gets good attention, and it has a good message into it. More on that later. So, let's start with the good. So the good, I'm going to say, there's only one main character in this entire film, and that's Evan Hansen himself. He is 20 years old, right? And he is playing an 18-year-old kid. When I saw that, I was like, that is freaking amazing. That is, for someone who is 20 years old, playing an 18-year-old, he deserves a medal for that. No, he deserves an award, because that is actually fantastic. The way how he handled Evan was so good. His singing voice was so good. It sounded like he was controlling his voice to make the song feel more good. And we're going to get into the songs pretty soon. And of course, the dynamic between Connor and Evan before, what he did was really earned. I was not expecting that, but I liked it, even though he was a little upset because he wrote a letter about his sister a little bit, who Evan has a crush on, which we're going to get into pretty soon. It was just really well done. The parents, by far, are good. This dude, the dad, I'm still going to have the picture of the mom and the dad together, but the dad was from, guess what, Law and Order at the time, and seeing him in this movie brought my heart was pounding. I was like, he's in this movie? No way. And his singing voice, by far, is just, I think everyone's singing voice was amazing, except one, which we're going to get into in the bad. But I appreciate what he did, and I love what he did in this film. I really did. And of course, I will say, the whole musical, the musical in this film, it's not much of a musical because it's focusing on something really dark. It's not supposed to be like that, but there is some musical moment. Like the scene where Evan was, on stage giving a speech. There's an extra scene when he was singing that song, like an extra scene. I had goosebumps the entire time I saw that. I was literally about to cry. It was that good. I literally was sitting there like, wow, this is fantastic. Why doesn't other movies be like this? Honestly, like Jungle Cruise did very well with that, and now Dear Evan Hansen. Good job, movie. And of course, I will say, the whole, like I said, the love connection between Evan and Zoe, excellent. It was very well done. I absolutely freaking adored it. It was very well done. And then, there's some moments, back to Evan Hansen, there's some moments when he's crying that you legitimately bought it. Like, he felt bad because, like I said, he's been lying to this family that he's been friends with a son who basically took his own life. And, it's just, it pained him, and he's like, you know what, I can't hold this anymore. So he finally told him, while he was crying, he was singing. I felt so bad for the dude. He was so good in that, and it was so well done how he handled that moment. It was so well done. So well done. Now, the mother and son duo worked very well in this film. It really made me feel like, wow, these two are actually mom and son. It worked very well, very, very well. And then we get to that's all I could say. Like, I'm speechless. There's nothing else to say. That's how good the movie is. But I do have some problems with Dear Evan Hansen. Let's get into it. The mom. She barely got any singing time. I would have loved to see her sing a little bit more in this film. I mean, honestly, she sang once, and it hurt. And I was sitting there like, she deserved more singing lines, in my opinion. So, if you guys are writing this down, if you guys ever are going to do another Dear Evan Hansen movie, give the mom a good singing part. Honestly, The one character I didn't mention in the good that I absolutely despise was her. I'm going to spoil this movie. She frustrated me and caused this problem in the first place. So she was asking Evan if they were even friends. He said no, because he said yes, they were actually friends. And then she's like, I don't believe you. And then finally he sends her the note that he basically wrote to himself, but he said Connor wrote him that. Well, she decides, you know what, whoops, it put it on social media, and everyone saw it. And I was like, why did you do that? He trusted you, and you did that to him. You know what, she didn't deserve to be in this movie, honestly. I did not like her at all in this film. And I knew when I saw that, I was like, I freaking knew I wasn't going to like her. So, yeah, she was the worst thing of this film. The worst thing. So, yeah, guys, Dear Evan Hansen was such a good movie. So, I highly request you guys to see it. So, my score for Dear Evan Hansen would be an 8 out of 10. Fantastic movie. I love it very much. You already know the drill. I am tired. I'm about to go on a walk. So, yeah, guys, peace.